Alright, gonna be noisy for a sec. There we go. I'm thinking the bolts going to the carburetor might be 3/8. Yep, they are 3/8. So before I get that off, now you can see why we took the muffler off. Because you got that bottom bolt right there. Little piece of rag so we can wipe that off and see it. So now you can see the two bolts that we're going to remove the carburetor with. Oh no, that one's not going to work. Luckily, these are also Phillips. So let's try this with a Phillips first. Alright, we got it. Okay, before I take that last bolt out, I want to show you something real quick. You see these two linkages here. Okay, this is the governor return spring and this is the throttle. And if you look, you can see they go over here to this bar right here. Okay, this bar is the governor. So you want to look at this very carefully before you take it out so you can see. Get some of this crud out of the way here. That's a Z-bend right there, so it goes this way, in through there, and then back. This one on top is a hook. So we're going to disconnect the carburetor, and we'll pivot the carburetor this way a little bit. We'll push the hook in at the top, and we'll disconnect the Z-bend. Then our carburetor will be free. Let's get that last carburetor bolt out. Now, the top one is the throttle, and that's just a hook. It goes in the top of the governor. And the Z-bend, you can see right there, that just goes through the hole and then like that. So now our carburetor is disconnected. Now we can get into the carburetor and see what's going on. We're going to look very carefully. Our intake gasket is intact. We got real lucky on that, so we won't have to replace that. Some people will go and disconnect the intake from the carburetor. I don't see a need to do that. We know our fuel line was split up there, so we're going to disconnect this clamp right here. We're going to get rid of that fuel line. Then we're going to take the carburetor apart, see what it looks like inside. But first, before we do any of that, we're going to get some carburetor cleaner and clean the outside of this, because I don't want to crack this carburetor open and have a bunch of crud fall in it. Hold on. Oh, that can's empty. Got another one right here. If you do this for any length of time, you will go through a lot of carburetor cleaner. That's a lot of crud. Remember, when you're using carburetor cleaner, be safe. Use some safety glasses. If the carburetor cleaner bothers your hands, use gloves. Alright, I'm going to get a small brush here and see if I can brush some of this off. I'm pretty sure this has never been cleaned. And that's fine, it doesn't have anything to do with the function of the carburetor until it gets too totally gooped up. Not like you need to run out all the time and, oh, I need to go clean the outside of my carburetor. It's not going to make a difference. But when you go to rebuild it, you want to have as much as this junk off as possible. Look at that. That's all from that carburetor. Let me get that mess cleaned up.